Peace, fam. I hope all is well. I hope your afternoon, morning, wherever you're at, hope is going well. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Again, please, 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 please do me a favor. Once again, like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you visit dynastymir.com. Make sure you visit donfo.africa. Uh, excuse me. Currently, I'm putting together the landing page for where you guys can order the actual documentary. So hopefully that'll be done in 24 hours. And I still plan on releasing the documentary end of this month. So I'm sorry, it's already the end of the month on the 30th. So in 3 days, I plan on releasing the documentary. Guys, the trailer is here on my page. So please go check out the trailer. Again, the trailer is posted on my page. So make sure you go check that out. Again, please check out the trailer. But again, I plan on having all that set up hopefully by tomorrow or Wednesday. So you guys can start purchasing the documentary this coming Thursday. I think the 30th is on a Thursday. Is the 30th on a Thursday? Yeah, it's the 30th on a Thursday. 27. Yeah, Thursday. This Thursday. So again, check out the trailer. Once again, please check out the trailer. And then you're going to go to searchforwho.com. Again, you're going to go to searchforwho.com and you can buy the DVD. Well, not DVD. Basically, when you make your purchase, you'll be able to download the actual documentary. So I'm working on that, all the logistics on how you guys can actually view the documentary. I'm working on all that. Also, so I have on my Omo Naija t-shirt. People are always asking, Dynast, where can I get the gear? Where can I get the official gear? Make sure you visit Ileamir, ILEAMIR.com. Again, Ileamir.com. And you can grab all the gear here. Again, please visit Ileamir.com. Again, visit Ileamir.com and you can grab all of the gear here. Let's jump into it. I'm going to put the link in the chat room. So whenever you guys are ready to jump in and call in, you could call in. Somebody just brought this up. Black Americans have this false perception that Hispanics coming to America will serve as backup for them. We know that's not true. We know that's not true. And even with this so-called browning of America that black people swear white people are so afraid of, can't make this. Guys, listen, we're gonna shift a little bit. All right, we're gonna shift a little bit. So, man, you know what? I'm gonna do a separate story on this. I'm gonna do a separate show on this. One dead, two injured at shooting at Buckhead Strip Mall in Atlanta. You guys swear I'll be making this stuff up. In fact, I'm gonna do another show later on tonight. Not too far from where I live. You had two ladies get killed at a Subway. The customer was mad because they put too much mayonnaise on his sandwich. Again, you had two ladies, one got killed in front of her son. There were two employees, both women. One of the employees had her son on site with her. They got killed because the customer was upset that there was too much mayonnaise on his or her sandwich. They haven't said it was a female or a male who shot the two employees because it had too much mayonnaise on the sandwich. And I'm gonna do a show on that. But I was gonna pull up this. It was a recording of a meeting between like our so-called black leadership. I use that loosely, quotation marks. Our so-called black leadership and Joe Biden. And Joe Biden said, look, y'all need to holler at the Hispanics. Y'all need to start hollering at the Hispanics. That's what Joe Biden told them. So the so-called browning of America that only black people continue to bring up. I'm okay. So America turns brown. What happens? I mean, once they turn, let's see, Wakanda, Atlanta is two ghetto dynasty leave. This is hold on, guys. I'm gonna go ahead. Let me show you guys this. We're gonna do a separate show on this later on today. We're gonna do a separate show on this today. But let me go ahead and play this real quick. Let me share the screen real quick. It's crazy. Y'all think I'm playing? This is the so-called Black Mecca.
I am.
And I'm gonna do a separate show on this tonight. I'm gonna do a separate show on this tonight.
Arrest late yesterday evening of a 36-year-old male out of Atlanta. As stated before, I won't release the name as right now because it's still a ongoing investigation. We still need to provide some information and get some information from some other individuals. But as most people know, this was a very tragic situation that did not have to occur. What we know is that the suspect came inside the restaurant, order a sandwich, and there was something wrong with the sandwich that made him so upset that he decided to take out his anger on two of the employees here. Uh, what's more important as well is that the citizen, we had a citizen who contacted us, who gave us some viable information, and who helped lead this investigation in the right direction. As we always say, we can't do it alone. It's oftentimes that we rely on the support of the citizens of Atlanta, and that's what happened yesterday. So kudos to that individual who also that is going to be remain anonymous. But quick actions. Once we get the information, officers from our Zone 5 field investigation team, as well as homicide, descended on the location, and we were able to take the suspect in custody without further incident. Uh, and so, again, very senseless act that, again, someone armed with a handgun who could not resolve the conflict decided that that was the way to resolve it. And so now we have.
A Subway employee is dead and another one is in the hospital this morning, all because a customer thought there was too much mayo on his sandwich. That's what the manager of a Subway on Northside Drive told us just hours ago. Our Molly Oak is following new details in this deadly shooting investigation.
A store owner says his heart is with his employees after a shooting at a Subway on Northside Drive. The owner says one of his employees is dead.
Well-rounded young ladies, really hard workers. Everybody loved them.
The owner says the woman just started a few weeks ago. He says another employee is injured and says one of the employee's sons was inside, witnessing everything.
Well, we had a customer that came in that was a little upset about how his sandwich was fixed. Believe it or not, it was over too much mayonnaise on his sandwich.
That's when he says,
all hell broke loose.
He says the man started shooting and the store manager shot back. When police arrived, the owner says they made an arrest, but he's not sure who it was. We're still working to get more information on what happened from police. As for the shooter, the owner says they've seen him before. He's a previous customer, but there haven't been any issues in the past.
It's scary out here. It's scary out here.
Now, the owner says they may close up shop.
Because of what happened tonight, me and my partners, we're actually reevaluating whether or not we're going to continue to do this in this neighborhood anyway.
Saying it's just not worth the risk.
We're expecting more details from police later on this morning. Be sure to
Yeah, I'm gonna meet you to go black. So I'm gonna do a separate show tonight just on what's going on in Atlanta. It's crazy. It's what's going on in Atlanta. It's I've never experienced or seen this before. But all Negroes are worried about in Atlanta. I mean, there could be blood in the streets, which there is. There's blood in the streets. But as long as Stacey Abrams gets elected, yeah, that's all they care about. That's all they care about, electing Stacey Abrams. There could be blood in the streets, but as long as Stacey Abrams gets elected, everything's okay. Let there continue to be blood in the streets, and they have every excuse. They deflect. They're evasive when it comes to just the murder and death that's going on in Atlanta on a daily basis. A daily basis. Go Black to Africa. Roe versus Wade. The Browning of America. Shout out to Go Black to Africa, everybody. Guys, hit the like button. Do me a favor. Hit the like button again, please. Hit the like button. Well, hey, Alan, if he's mentally ill, all these Negroes are mentally ill then. Like everybody's like, oh, you don't understand what's going on here in Atlanta. They all mentally ill then. But go Black to Africa, the Browning of America. Like, so black people keep, I only hear this from black people here in America. They keep pointing to this one day, white folks is going to be the minority, and so white folks are afraid of being the minority in the Browning of America. And so my thing is like, okay, so what happens? So when this day comes, when white folks become the minority, what y'all gonna bum rush the Pentagon? Like, are they gonna give y'all the nuclear codes to the black folks? Or are they finally gonna say, you know what? We was wrong. Black folks, y'all the real keepers and owners of America. Like, they're gonna bum rush the White House, the black folks, like, we're gonna take over the military. Like, what is supposed to happen when this so-called Browning of America that I keep hearing about takes place? So now the conspiracy theory is they ended, and this might be true, but they said that they overturned Roe versus Wade because white people aren't reproducing here in America, and they're afraid that they're going to be the minority. I said, okay, you got it. We'll roll with that. So are you saying that when this happens, like what is supposed to happen on this day when is Jesus coming back on his day? Like, is the UFOs coming to take black folks? Are we going to ascend to heaven? Like what is supposed to happen? Go back to Africa when the Browning of America takes place.
No matter if it's even the Browning of America, on that piece of paper, when they have you check what race you are, they include other races to go ahead and identify with white to still keep us as a minority. So we could be brown all day. And the sad thing about it is that there are those nationalities who come over into America, those immigrants and all, that they say, yeah, y'all come on, check on there, white. I don't care if you Oriental. I don't care if you coming from even Mexicans. Some Mexicans check the old I'm white. You can brown up America all day long, and it's still not going to change anything. It's not going to make anything better. Black folks aren't going to go, bum rush the White House or the Capitol building. That's just not going to happen. What we see is what we see today, like you said. I mean, that killing, I saw that earlier, the killing two women or killing one woman and injuring another over too much mayonnaise. Yesterday, the mother who stabbed the kids in Atlanta and burned the house.
Oh man, that's another one.
Killed 3 kids. That was in Atlanta. They found a baby boy 3 years old in Detroit in a freezer today. I mean, black baby. These people are killing their kids. Look, the rate that we killing each other, there ain't gonna be more brown in America because we are slaughtering each other. We're killing our youth. Means then there's no future for blacks. If that is going to be locked up in prison or going to lose their everlasting mind, walking around crazy and homeless. But I think it's ridiculous when people try to say, yeah, white people are scared that black people are eventually going to be the majority and they're going to be the minority. I think that's just a conversation that shouldn't even be mentioned, really, because it's ignorance, really.
Yeah, but that's what they're talking about, like the Browning of America. The browning of America. But Joe Biden already told black folks that, listen, y'all need to go talk to the Hispanics before you even come talk to me.
Yeah.
Go talk to the Hispanics first.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, we will always be disregarded and, you know, ignored. That's why, I mean, I understand there are just some people who are just blind to the situation. They believe this government system, you know, is going to eventually change in their favor. You know, get out there and vote. Okay, y'all said that when Republicans in office. You say that when the Democrats in office. You say that. People continuously say this, and then it's like, has anything really changed? Well, we can compare the two and see maybe there's one side that maybe that you feel as though that you prosper better than another, but that's on an individual level. What about as a collective level? Collectively, I don't see it, and you know, but there are people who have this hope and trust in a system that ignores them, and that's what gets me. Is that how do you have so much faith in a system that continuously ignores you? I don't get it.
Hey, Minilet, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes, hello. What's up, Dynasty?
What's going on, brother? Go ahead.
And go back to Africa. Yes, I think a lot of black people in America, a lot of black people. Oh yeah, go back. Okay, thanks for correcting. Yeah, I see a lot of black people.
Go black. Go black.
Go back.
Black.
Go black. Yeah, go black. Go black to Africa. Yeah. Thanks for correcting me. A lot of black people in America are just delusional, man. I think that they have so much faith in the government system and all this type of stuff. You know, you're a second class citizen, and when you live in the Babylon plantation of America, that's what I call it. You raised in a system that don't like you, don't really just see you as a second class citizen, and a lot of black people just miseducated and miseducated here. And I think that even the whole brownie in America doing all that type of stuff, it'd be like Brazil, where you have a big black population, but the white people are still on top. They control the banks and the government. Here they own most of the thing. When you like 12% of the population, and you think you're going to be overpower a government or something like that, just to me it's just not making sense. That's why I think building in Africa is the way, and studying people like the Pan-Africanists, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Stokely Carmichael. That's the they were all right with the Pan-Africanism thing. Is that there's something but in some way where black folks, I don't know what happened. Something black folks in America just got their spirit just got just went away and just went into this get alone, to be alone, all this type of stuff. Their mindset just that whole that radical African spirit something just got destroyed for some reason here in America. But now we on this LBA, all this stuff, and versus black immigrants. Then you have the alphabet stuff is just is I don't know. To me, I don't know. I think it's a wrap here. I agree with you, Amir. Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, go ahead, TH. Go ahead and unmute yourself, TH. Go ahead, Trey.
Yeah, like I don't agree like that the browning of America at all is good for, foundational black Americans or anybody black in America at all. Like I'm not somebody saying that. I just think that it's going to be like a real hard sell just on like the surface level whenever you look at like there's like they're talking about like subway shooting or random shooting that happens, but then on the flip side, whenever black Americans look at Africa and we see like the migrants getting mistreated like by the Moroccans right now, like literally like hundreds of them just laying down, getting shot to death and stuff. Like it makes it hard to be like, I'll take my chances, going in the subway before I'm dealing with like why, like you look at Africa, like why are they fleeing like that? And why are they getting treated like that? Like rounded up by like the thousands and literally shot dead. And that's kind of like, we look kind of Pan-Africanism sometimes as like the priorities, like I wouldn't focus so much about, a random shooting at a subway whenever you got like hundreds of African migrants literally running from the continent and getting shot down?
Well, I'll say this right here. The back way, and that's what they call it, the back way here in Africa. That this pipe dream is the pipe dream about the West is best. These people are trying to get over there to these European countries, giving their, basically putting their life on the line. You go into them Arab countries, them Arabs is going to get you. They get sick and tired of the Africans coming in and, trying to come in their countries. And then they, you got to sit still for a while, waiting on boats possibly and all that right there. And these people are pissed off. Now, I'm totally against, them killing our brothers and sisters up there. But I always say to the Africans is like, you're running to a dead situation when really Africa is really all here for your taking. Why are people want to always find something about Africa to try not to come to Africa. Well, see, look right there. That right there is happening. Okay, you got 100 people that were killed supposedly up here in Morocco. That's every day in America. And for those people there that flee from their country land or what have you, of course.
Hey, go back to I have to use the bathroom real quick after you pass it to the Patriarchy Strikes Back. But
sure,
I'll be right back.
Sure. But for the most part, I've been to 14 African countries, peaceful places, right? You're not going to find much of issues in African countries. You're just not going to where Africans are, not where the Arabs are. The Arabs, yeah. Look, let's not forget, all right? The Saharan slave trade was by the Arabs. So I don't take a lot of them as Africans anyway. That was just a migration of force that came through with a sword that spread Islam. So my thing is that, yes, brothers and sisters might be trying to go the back way to get out that they think is a better situation, when in actuality, it's a dead situation. And so when we compare the two, anytime you hear any issues going on in Africa, typically if there's an uproar, a clash that's going on, you are going to find a foreigner in the middle of it that's caused a division, a divide of a people in order for them to get resources that might be here on the ground. But as far as you want to talk about, let's lay it hand in hand about the crimes that are going on in Africa or the crimes that are going on in America, hands down right now, America's got Africa beat. And Africa got 1.2 billion people in the continent, and America's got 373 million people. And you talking about—
Are you comparing a country to a continent?
Oh yeah, I'm going to compare it.
Okay, that doesn't.
No, well, I'm comparing America to Africa.
Okay, so you're comparing a country to a continent with a bunch of different countries, a bunch of different cultures, a bunch of different people who are range in genetics, a bunch of people who speak different languages, a bunch of different political systems to one country specifically.
I'm not going to get stuck on what they call a continent or what they call countries. Okay. It's about a space of a place that people are living in. Yeah, I understand. You can't really compare because Africa is 4 times larger than America. But what I'm saying is, really, when you talk about the moral, spiritual component of a people, Africa's are more friendlier people. I know we're going through some hard times in America right now because you know what? There's some dysfunctions that is happening. Do I mean that Africa don't have dysfunctions? Huh?
Who is we? You said we're going through some hard times.
We people of color.
What does that mean?
Well, what I'm saying, that's what it means. People of color. I mean, look at it statistically. I mean, we are definitely having a harder times by a system that, whether it's racism or white supremacy, like people are saying, whether you want to talk about black on black crime, whether you want to talk about the lack of education, the lack of employment, the lack of business opportunities. This right here is hard times.
Mm-hmm. So you said some of the things you said I agree with. I do think people from certain countries in Africa should stay where they are. I don't think that they could necessarily mesh well with the West. You said the West was best mentality. So I would agree with that. I do think that those people should stay and improve their own countries. and not have, what I like to say is dual loyalty, right? I think America has enough people here who don't necessarily have the best interests of America at heart. They're here to get something and then go away to somewhere else. So I definitely would agree with some of your sentiments.
Well, and saying that too,
But I do think the West is, with all due respect, I do think the West is better than Africa. I think the West is better. I think the Arabs are better. I think the Chinese are better.
in what way better?
I mean, they're beating your ass right now. I mean, they beat you historically. I mean,
Who?
they kind of civilized you to a certain extent.
You're saying that who did this?
The Arabs, the Brit, a lot of the European countries, and the Chinese. They're destroying you right now. Like
So you say they're better.
they are. I mean, they're dominating you. I mean, you've been dominated. You're dominated right now.
I think he was speaking more from like a moralistic standpoint, because truth be told, Africa was doing fine, like without, like they would have been fine without them. But what I'm saying, like to respond to Go Black to Africa, what I meant by my point of them running is I was actually saying like, what is Neely Fuller says, like you go from a place to get more comfortable. So my point is what is so comfortable about, what is so uncomfortable about Africa that is making these people flee? And then when you look at the Black American, when you see that, we're not in that level of discomfort as far as quality of life and how many of us are like, you heard Carla yesterday talk about middle income and everything and like middle class. And we have way more people living comfortably, in comparison to, we would never want to put ourselves in a situation to have to end up like that. And we can look over countless time and time again and see like boats of Africans fleeing or running from their homeland. So for Black Americans, we're like, why would we want to like go join that party if they're trying to run away from it?
Correct. The funny thing about it is I do think that the fleeing will eventually destroy the continent, right? So brain drain is not going to have a positive effect on Africa long term. I mean, at the end of the day, countries are built by blood and people sacrificing themselves. And if people run or leave, I'll give you an example, like Colombia, for example, right? Colombia has built itself up to be a growing and developing country. Colombia had to go through a lot of shit, had to go through a lot of pain in order to get there, right? When you have massive amounts of talent that are leaving to go elsewhere, that will affect the country long term. And I know it's not a hard thing to stay. I mean, excuse me, I know it's not an easy thing for these people to stay where they are due to the political conditions. But if they do stay eventually, right, 50, 60, 70 years from now, you may see something different, right? I don't necessarily even compare African countries to the United States or any Western countries because many of them have only been independent for the last 60 years. But what I do know is this. I do know that when internal talent flees, that causes issues within a country.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I believe every man and woman has the right to flee where you feel as though that the place may be better. But these are minuscule numbers. I mean, it ain't like, you seeing like, hundreds of thousands of people trying to leave out of a 1.2 billion continent. Yeah, you have these countries just like Ethiopia. Ethiopia is going through some issues right now still in Ethiopia with some fighting and war going on. That's in every country, basically. You have some type of discourse, some type of issue, some civil unrest, what have you. It happens. And yeah, you don't see many Black Americans leaving America per se. Man, that's because, man, they're used to the master's table, man. Many people are afraid to leave. They don't have the guts
why would I want to
leave.
Why would I want to leave my country? Why would I want to leave a country that my great grandparents were born in? Why would I want to leave
a
country that, excuse me, why would I want to leave a country that has given me so much for a country that I don't know? I don't frankly care for their culture or their customs, right? I don't necessarily like their food. I don't like their music. I don't have anything in common with these people, right? Like, so I don't understand. I mean, I know that you may come across a lot of Americans who are ungrateful for what America has done for them. I'm not one of those people. So what I think has happened is and I got to go here. I'm going to come back briefly, but what I think has happened is there's been this big Pan-Africanist slight towards Black Americans to try to convince Black Americans that they're in this bad position in America, and they somehow need to destabilize their country to go join a group of people that they have no allegiance or loyalty to whatsoever. Like Black people are doing so well in America that you literally have to convince them that they're not in order to go join a group of people who don't frankly care about them, and with all honesty shouldn't care about them, because those people should be focused on their own countries.
You know, the interesting thing you say that is that, you know, it ain't us who's up here trying to convince anybody. It's the average person who in America admits what's going on in the country. They're the ones who are sitting here complaining about the injustices of America. That's not a secret. Yeah. Majority of Blacks would tell you it's unfair, it's slanted, there's prejudice, there's issues that are going on. You know, the other thing that you mentioned was that, you know, why would somebody want to leave a country to go to another place when you think America is good? You know why? Because see, when you got welfare and you got government assistance, people ain't gonna leave that. You got Africans who are leaving because they ain't got that.
Exactly. So hold on a second. So we're in agreement here, right?
Right. So you rather put up with the bullshit because then you're getting here. Crumbs from the master's table.
There is no bullshit. There is no. Hold on a second. I got Chick-fil-A. I got Chick-fil-A here. Why would I want to go to Kenya or Somalia? Why would I want to go to Kenya or Somalia when I got a Chick-fil-A here? Why?
Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A. You're an idiot.
Chick-fil-A. Can I say something?
Chick-fil-A. You guys have a problem with Chick-fil-A now? Really?
Bro, you sound young, bro. You sound really young. How old are you?
I'm 31.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I'm a migrant. I came here from Jamaica. You know why people come here, sir? Your economics is the best in the world. The US dollar is the best in the world. You could do so much with it. It's not necessarily people love America. Nobody loves you. You work here. You come here, you age. I was in Jamaica. I look good. I look like a nice young boy. You know what I'm saying? I look like.
I thought you came here to get away from the beef patties.
Man, relax yourself, man. let me educate you, bro, because you sound really elementary right now, bro. I swear I thought you were like 18 or 19 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But we come here because of economics. Africa is the future, bro. Anywhere you see the Chinese, it's the future, bro.
And that means the Chinese are the future and not Africa.
Relax, bro. Relax. You quick to say something. Let me speak. You gotta listen, like you were in school. Listen. Okay. Listen.
At least we get to stay in our schools. We don't have the missing girls like you all.
Bro, there's human trafficking here in America. I have to be worried about my sisters. I have to be buying them tasers. What you talking about?
How's the JLP doing?
Relax.
How's the PNP doing?
Relax, bro. That's like in the past, bro.
Oh, it's in the past. I'm sure.
Bro,
I'm sure the Tin Roof shanty towns are doing so well in Kingston right now.
Bro, it's because America is more economically.
How many people got killed outside the last Pasa?
How many people got killed in Chicago, Detroit, California?
Come on, man.
Yo, you a little boy or you a man?
Dude, I'm somebody like a man, bro. Roof. I don't live in a
act like a man. You gonna let me speak, and then I'm gonna let you make your point. Act like a man.
We don't put dirt on our chicken like you.
Let me speak, bro. Let me speak. Respect, cousin. All right. America is the economic hub for the world. That's why people come here. It's not necessarily people love America, right? We like America because of what it could do for us. We like the concept. Your concept of governance, your concept of everything is good, right? But people are not fleeing from their countries to be here in mass. The ones that come here, they make the money, they bring it back home, they build a base. No, it's not exploiting, bro.
It is exploiting.
What would you call the Italians back in the 1900s? What would you call They did the same thing.
They assimilated into the culture.
One mic. But there's no problem with
they assimilated into the culture.
But there's no problem with
There
exploiting America.
is a problem with exploiting
No, it's
America,
not.
which is why
No, it's
people are
not.
trying to do away with it right now.
No, it's
You
no
have
problem
no
exploiting
loyalty
America.
to the United States at all.
Bro,
The United
people
States
are
has
here.
no.
You people are
Who
here.
said you have to have
Okay, hold on a
loyalty?
second. Hold on a second. You
Whoa,
won't
whoa,
do this. You won't go to
guys,
Russia
what?
and
No,
do
this is
that.
my show.
You
What,
won't
Mike?
go
This
to
is my
China
show. Hold
and
on.
do that.
Hold on. Patriarchy Strike Back. Are
You
you
only
consider
live
yourself-
because of white guilt. White
Okay.
guilt is the only reason you're even alive right now.
bro.
Okay,
bro.
Patriarchy Strikes Back. I need you guys to be quiet. Do you identify as white or black?
I'm black. And what are you?
So
Black is an American classification. What are you?
I'm black as well.
What tribe are you from? No, you're not. You're an African. What tribe are you from?
I'm a black American.
So were your great grandparents born in America?
Yes, they were. Mississippi
Okay.
and Texas.
Mississippi. Okay. Okay. So do you pledge allegiance to the United States?
I don't.
Okay. So you're disloyal.
I don't care. But
Okay, and that's the problem. And that's the problem. You have no loyalty to America.
I don't have to. I don't.
You don't
That's
have
the point
to.
we're trying to make. We don't have to.
For right now, you don't. For right now, you don't. Eventually, you will have to. And that's what I'm saying.
Patriot.
I need you to be quiet.
What is an American? No, let me.
I need you to be quiet.
Oh.
Theo, I need you to be quiet. Theo, I need you to be quiet.
All right.
Hurry up, y'all. I got like 2 minutes left.
Patriarch. So tell me what's going to happen.
Well, what is already happening is people are right now establishing laws and rules against people who come into the country to exploit the country, right? So right now it's starting.
They're not.
Really, like they're not at all. So we aren't. But you gotta let me. Are you gonna listen? I don't speak ape, so you gotta let me finish. Okay. So what I'm saying is, that's where you derive from. So let me just say
you
this,
come
right?
from a monkey too. You trying to be a white man.
No, you don't.
Be proud of yourself.
But you ran for the white man. You ran to the white man's country. You came to America.
No, I came to Jamaica, a black man's country. White man don't run nothing
Bro,
there.
go cut some more sugar cane. Go cut some sugar cane.
Whoa,
okay, let me finish talking. Let me finish talking.
This guy is racist.
Go get your machete out and cut some sugar cane.
Yeah. You wouldn't be saying that to my face.
Go put that dirt on your chicken. Go put that dirt on your chicken.
Say it to my
dirt
face.
chicken eating ass. Out of here. He's not even letting me finish. No, you eat dirt on your chicken.
No, hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Go get your beef flavored toaster strudel.
I'm trying to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Has America been loyal to black people?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Hold on a second. Are you gonna let me finish?
Go ahead.
Who freed
they
black
put
people?
lead in the soil in the
shut
hood
up,
to
bro.
dumb you
And
down.
you still eat lead right now. You banana boat swimmer, you still eat lead right now. Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point.
You don't have
banana boat boy.
Banana boat
Jamaican
boy.
bobsled. Go back to your bobsled.
I want to hear. Go. Answer the question. Okay, go ahead.
Of course they have, right? So you look up, right? You look up certain countries in Western Africa, right? Who ended slavery in Western Africa? European. No, they did not. It was the colonial empires that ended slavery. Then you look. Hold on a second. Then you look up America. Who ended slavery in America? Did black people in America fight to free themselves? No, it was white people who fought to free blacks.
No, black people fought in the war.
No, they didn't. No, get the bro under a white army. Under a white army. No, it does matter.
They fought.
In your third world countries, third world countries. Hold on, it don't matter where. It's the truth. It's the truth, bro. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot while you're speaking a white man's language. You're speaking English right now. You're speaking English right now. You're not speaking no talk. You're not speaking no talk. You're speaking English right now. You would not even know what freedom was if it wasn't for Europe. If it wasn't for Europe, you would not even know what freedom was.
There should have been a border shut.
Wherever your people came from, Europe gave you freedom. Yeah, it did. It did. You're laughing. You're laughing while you're speaking English right now. The only people who have the right to talk are Haitians. Are you Haitian? Are you Haitian? Are you Haitian? Yeah, laugh, because it's laugh. Go ahead, laugh. It's the truth. Your people have created nothing. You've done nothing. Yeah, I know you've done nothing.
Hey, go black to Africa.
You have done nothing. You have done nothing. You've created nothing.
Hey,
You
patriarchy. Let
get
me say
taken
one.
advantage by everybody. The Chinese got their dick in your ass right now.
Well,
The Arabs
patriarchy. Let
put
me
their
say
dick
one
in your,
thing.
like, you've created nothing. You've done nothing. You've won nothing.
Oh
I know
my
it's.
goodness.
Go ahead and laugh it. Go ahead
Oh
and
my
laugh because
goodness.
you have no
You're too
history. You
funny.
have no heritage.
You're too funny, buddy.
It's
You're
the
too
truth.
funny.
Tell me where I'm lying.
You're funny.
Tell me where I'm lying.
Wow.
Tell me what country you originate from. You don't want to say it because no matter what country you
Dynast,
originate
I'm
from.
trying to go back to the real topic.
No, the
Okay,
real
how-
topic. The real topic is
Can
if
you
you're
mute
from a
the-
Western
can you mute the
African
clown
country,
for a
whites
second?
ended slavery on
I
your
just want to share
continent,
some information.
and you've
Can you mute the clown
accomplished
for a
nothing
second,
at all. You haven't accomplished anything.
Dynast,
You haven't accomplished anything. What have you
I just want to share some
accomplished?
information about abortion and
Like,
stuff.
how does it
Roe
feel to
versus
get
Wade, so
beat
we
by
move on.
everybody? You got beat by whites. You got beat by Arabs. You got beat by Asians. You don't win
He's not
anything.
black, man. He keeps
You
saying
don't win.
He
I'm an
keeps
American. I'm an American. That's what I
okay.
am.
I got it.
What's
I
wrong
got
with
you.
being
I
an
got-
American? What's wrong with being the
There's
best country in the
nothing.
world?
Dynast,
So why are you
nothing.
We
here
feed all of you. We give you all foreign aid. All of you live off of our tax dollars. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Black is an American classification.
He's not black.
I'm not Fulani or Mumani or Igbo or Yoruba or whatever the fuck y'all motherfuckers call yourselves these days.
Yo, Dynast, let's go back to the Roe versus Wade situation.
Oh, you talking about American stuff? You talking? You ain't got a Roe or Wade in where you come from.
Yo, Dynast, can we?
Yeah, I know. You ain't got a Supreme Court where you come
patriarchy,
from.
let me say one thing real quick, bro. Like, okay, I definitely don't agree with like the tone and the sentiment 100% behind how my man is coming. So I'm not gonna jump in.
I'm sorry. I just want people to be respectful. Listen, I think
I got
Africa is a
you,
great
Tim.
place. I think it's a great place.
Let him talk. Let him talk. Let him talk. Go
I
ahead.
don't mean to be offensive. I think
Let
your
him
country.
talk, Patriarch. Let
Yes,
him
sir.
talk. Thank you. Go ahead.
Now I just want to go back to Africa with how he framed it when he said, why would you want to stay here? Like, speaking of foundational Black Americans, why would you want to stay in a country that, is unjust and does X,
Hey,
Y,
guys,
Z,
I'll be right back.
which is all true.
I'm
And
gonna
I
give you a
fully
super chat, by the way.
understand what you're saying. That's all true. But what I'm saying is when you look at the contributions that foundational Black Americans have made to America from like the inception to now, and how much we as far as like our labor and Benjamin Banneker, Lewis Latimer, like what we've done here in America and the contributions we've made, and how much America has benefited from not only just our labor, but our ingenuity and everything. So everything that's like built and extracted, you say the table that like white people built, we were very, very instrumental in building this table.
But how has Black people benefited from it?
What I mean is,
no,
I can
but
answer
Trey, 2022, how have Black people in 2022, how are they benefiting from Benjamin Banneker? Outside of the school that's called Benjamin Banneker here in Atlanta off of Cascade, I guess I'll give you that.
Meaning all of those
contributions. How are Black people benefiting? I mean, okay, here we go. Who's benefiting more from Benjamin Banneker's accomplishments? Black people or white people?
I know exactly what you mean. I would answer it just like this. I would say the way you see foundational Black Americans benefiting from the table that we were very instrumental in building is the fact how like the Black Panther started like the free lunch program and all that, and like the WIC and the fact you can come here and get food stamps and all that stuff sounds small, but our quality of life as foundational Black Americans, due to how instrumental we were in building this, is higher than Africa, and that's just fact. It's right now, 2022. The 2022 foundation.
Trey, hold on. You're not gonna talk over me, Trey. Trey, the intentions of the Black Panther Party with their, I guess, WIC program was not to create generations and generations of Black people dependent on the government, Trey. That's not a win.
Why
are you bringing up food stamps? How is the food stamps?
Because I would rather have that than be starving and having a lower quality of life, which our foundational Black American quality of life is the highest of any Black ethnic population, and we were very instrumental in that. So in 2022, as you asked me, our foundational Black American quality of life is higher than any other Black ethnic group, and we are very instrumental with our history and our culture in us benefiting from that. So why would you not want to benefit from the blood, sweat, and tears of something your ancestors toiled and worked hard to build, and then to just give up those, even if it's scraps from a table we were very instrumental in building, and those scraps make us the most highest quality of life having Black ethnic group in 2022.
So food stamps.
Oh, I'm talking about just the average black. You heard Carla. Everything Carla said yesterday is more than food stamps. He was talking about like just middle income, middle America. We have a lot of owner operators in trucking. We have a lot of black people living in nice homes, like internet, the whole nine. Like we have problems, but we've consistently fought and worked with the government that we helped sustain and then build. People come here and materialistically benefit from. We were very instrumental in that, and our quality of life today is higher than any other black ethnic group.
All right, go ahead. Go back to Africa. Then I'll pass to
Let me
Larry.
say this right here. I think that your perception, to me, in my opinion, is a little bit misconstrued in a sense. But I did 20 years in the military. I had to come to an understanding to the tail end of my career that I witnessed, understood, and was able to put together that this whole thing that y'all keep talking about our ancestors built is not even all there. What I mean by that, I can sit here and say, I fought for America and I protected America and I brought the freedoms to America. Bullshit. No. Do you know what I actually did? I defended the wealthy's wealth. We fought to keep the wealthy wealthier, not a freedom for a country. Freedom? No, that's the lie they told us in order to get a lot of minorities that are in the military and some poor white people, that's who's in the military, to believe that you are protecting the freedoms of America when you are actually guarding the wealthy people's assets, investments. That is it. Now, when you want to talk about our ancestors built, yes, we do know because of slavery and free labor that the world benefited off of it, not just America, the world. It created so many industries, institutions around the globe off of cotton, sugar, tobacco, agriculture, that the world benefited from it. My ancestors, yeah, did they contribute? Yes, but benefiting, look, the average Black American off the panel, since we here, how many of you all on the panel own your house?
Okay, well, hold on. I pay a mortgage. Does that count or?
No, that does not count. You don't own your house.
Okay,
That bank owns your house.
I'll say if you want to say that, my grandfather built the house that my grandma just died in, and it's still there. Like there's a lot of foundational Black Americans. We built Charleston, we built New Orleans.
I'm just asking the question. How many people on the panel owns their house? You don't. The average Black person out here is running around thinking they have accomplished something with a mortgage. Their cars are not paid, their houses are not paid, and you're just working aimlessly for what? That you feel as though that you got a house that looked like the European and that you've accomplished something, but you got nothing.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Would you say that the foundational Black Americans of all the Black ethnic groups globally have the highest quality of life by the quality of life indicators currently in 2022?
FBAs and all that. I don't know the stats on all that. I don't know.
Meaning like access to healthcare, running water, clean drinking water, toilets.
Depending on the city you're talking about and the state you're talking about. I don't know. There's a lot of people who don't have
I can almost guarantee you that foundational Black Americans as a Black ethnic population have the highest quality of life than any other Black ethnic group.
Well, and that may be so, but all I'm saying is this right here. You know, because Dynas was saying to you, how are Black people benefiting? What, you got you a job and you're paying for a house and you got you a car note, you got your credit cards, and look at how much do you got in the bank.
But I would say that is my answer is that is the benefit. Having the highest quality of life of all Black people on the planet would be the current benefit.
Well, I tell you this right here, you come to Africa and you're going to see majority of Africans own their houses. They don't have debts, very few. Sad to say, there's mortgages that are slowly creeping in, but that's for the foreigners though. But I'm gonna say this right here: when you look at it for pound, on the outside, it looks good. Yeah, you got your concrete roads, you got your house that you got a mortgage on, and you got your car, and you got your clothes on your back, and you think you're really doing good. Man, the most Africans out here, man, look, you need to really check out and see they got just as much as most Black Americans got, because most of the Black Americans are poor. And if you want to talk about middle income, middle class, look, they want to talk about, oh, you make $70,000 a year, you're middle class. Not if you're in Atlanta. I mean, not if you're in LA, not if you're in New York City, not if you're in Miami, not if you're in Dallas, not if you're in daggone Austin, not if you're in Denver, not if you, I can go on and on. $70,000 ain't nothing, but you consider yourself to be middle class. You make $150,000 in LA, you can't even buy your own house. You can't even afford it.
I just think we're overlooking how important quality of life is. And when and just in comparison, like there's certain indicators that are just true globally. And then I don't think many people would argue that like the average foundational Black American, as far as just how we're living, the stuff we're able to do, the freedoms we're afforded, and then like it was higher than the just places when we see the stuff we see.
I can come into Africa, freedoms. I can come into Africa. I've already bought 3 properties. Taxes, don't even have the taxes. I can come here and you can shift your strong American dollar, as the young man was saying, since it's so strong. You take that strong American dollar and put it over into another country and see how far you can take that dollar. Freedoms, man, starting a business here is nothing. I got 3 businesses in Africa. I don't have the red tape and the bureaucracy of being held back to be able to acquire what I want to acquire. How many people in
that's big. I agree with you on that. That's definitely big.
Yes. How many people owning land and Black folks owning land in America? You're living in concrete jungles. You got your house, you got your car, and you think you got a benefit of something. Dude, look, there's as much as I talk about sometimes some African countries I go into about the infrastructure might be lacking, some places have trash, but you know what? But on the other side of it is, I'm always pridefully saying the fact that I ain't got to pay a lot of taxes. So which side do I want? Do I want the roads and all that better stuff there? Or do I want them off my back and not even pay little to no taxes? Which one is really painful to me?
But if you're gonna compare like the worst and the worst of both and the best of both, then it's also like there's also a lot of foundational Black Americans that are owning 2 and 3 businesses, doing their thing here, living it up, where it's just like their lifestyle is amazing, so you got to kind of weigh it both ways. And foundational Black Americans, we have the right to like strive for that too. And we've always like inched and scratched and clawed for everything we got here. So like, it's not like we're not saying it's perfect right now, but we are benefiting from what our ancestors did and the work they laid in, and like even the political progress that we do make. It's not great, but it is something we work.
What political progress?
Meaning going from like chattel slavery after Reconstruction and all that to where now we have the quality, like the highest quality of life of all the Black ethnic groups. Like we had this fight for that, like even for like immigration, even for like the Africans that do come over, the Hispanics do come over, like it was a lot of Black political leaders and Black people taking bricks to the head that like allowed that to get passed in legislation. So that people could, like how she said Jamaica's GDP yesterday, like a third of it was from people coming to America and sending money back. And a lot of that was even made possible by foundational Black Americans rallying together, politically organizing and fighting for the civil rights and all that was like the civil rights movement that we're so popular and known for. So that's like they can thank us for that, but yet we don't really get thanked for that. And, it's just stuff like that is, I would say, is like actual real benefits that even Jamaica is receiving from foundational Black Americans.
TH, how old are you?
35.
35. Okay. All right. And I get it. I told my kids this right here. Look, my son's 34. I told my kids this right here. When you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, then that's when you go ahead and venture off. I got to that place when I looked at it like my hard work. And look, I'm the first one to tell you right here, I kicked America in the ass. I became successful in America, if you want to look at it, what they consider to be successful. So yes, there are opportunities in America that one can take advantage of, but you're going to work your ass off, as what's the name said. You're going to probably work 2-3 jobs like I did to get to that place. You know what I'm saying? But you haven't even been through what I've been through in 55 years. So then that yet until you walk through a span of time where you see that, what? I probably can get further and better for my energy and effort that I'm putting in elsewhere than what this country that I am doing. I might venture off to other places. And I tell people they ain't got to be Africa.
I agree with you.
Hold on, Trey. Hold on, Trey. Let Larry go ahead. Larry, you've been waiting.
Thanks. Greetings. I don't want to take up too much time. The main reason I came on was because of the Browning section of your show, the Browning of America. I wanted to talk about in regards to the first thing I'll quickly say in regards to people going back to Africa. The irony is that you, Dynast, and Go Back to Africa, both of you are actually following in the tradition of Americans. I mean, if you look at the history of this country, what was it built on? It was built on people coming to this country, leaving wherever they were coming from because they were looking for opportunities. They wanted to build something, and some of them were successful and they built something. You guys are following in that tradition, but you're looking outside of America. You're going to another land and you're looking for opportunities. So if people want to come to America to build something for themselves, that's fine. If people want to stay in America and continue trying to build, that's fine. I don't really see a debate or an argument amongst that. But then I'm different. I'm not really a nationalist. I believe the world is my oyster. I go wherever the opportunity is to make a good life for myself and my family when I start having one. The Browning of America, which I wanted to talk about, is that about interracial relationships and how that is detrimental?
No, Larry. So basically, white people are supposed to become the minority here in the next, I don't know, 20 years or something. And so what they're saying is one of the reasons why people are saying that they overturn Roe versus Wade is because white people aren't creating as many kids because they want to continue to be the majority. So my argument was, okay, say the Browning of America takes place. How is that a win for black people? It isn't like, black people are going to bum rush the Pentagon or, and take over, or, the white people are say, hey, black folks, we're the minority now. Here go the keys to the country and all this other stuff. So I'm just telling people, what is the win for the black community, if the Browning of America happens?
So do you suspect then that if it ever did happen, the Browning of America, that the majority could then start behaving like the whites who were dominating and start being exploitative? No. They'll just be corruptible. Or there's no benefit at all whatsoever, is what you're saying.
There's no benefit. There's no benefit at all.
Fair enough. Well, and that, I don't know much about that. I don't want to go into that. But the first thing I'll say, people emigrating, that's God-given right if you want to. There's nothing wrong with it. You guys are doing it. You're building stuff. But I don't see why people want to argue about it. There's no war. If you want to stay and build, stay and build. If you want to leave, leave and build. If you've got the skill to do it, do it. You guys are just pioneers. You're explorers. You're following in your tradition of, what was that thing you get taught in high school? Westward go, when the guy was saying onward to the west, and people were going to the west to settle and build something. You're looking somewhere else. So good luck to you, and I don't see anything wrong with it. That's all I'm going to say. I'll just wait to see if something else comes up that I can contribute in, because I came in full of energy for the Browning thing, because I thought it had to do with interracial relationships in the middle, and a mulatto or a mixed class being a buffer or something. So just keep quiet.
Go ahead, Alex Delaga. Go ahead.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
All right, cool. I just came here to talk about the Browning of America subject, and how people are somehow creating this false sense of success or victory because they feel like the white American population is gonna get lower, and more ethnic people or ethnic minorities from outside are gonna come into America and start helping Black Americans somehow overcome the stuff that they had to deal with in the past, and somehow come on top of white Americans. I just think all of that whole idea is kind of a pipe dream, because from what I'm seeing, as far as the majority of immigrants that come into America, most of them are Latino, and a lot of them, not only are they Latino, a lot of them are mixed mestizos, so a lot of them already have like a high percentage of white European in them. And not only that, but they come from a country or a culture that, puts Europeans on a pedestal. If you look at how Mexican culture is ran, not only Mexican, but people in Central America, if you see how their cultures are ran, it's almost pretty much similar to America, where white ethnic groups are, are dominant, and the mestizos and the natives and black ethnic groups are a little bit more under um, a little bit more on the lower end of class. So I don't understand how they think um, Mexicans or Central Americans are going to come into America with some kind of black power mentality and somehow going to help black Americans deal with the white Americans. As far as I'm concerned, what I think is going to happen is that a lot of the mestizos who are already a large percentage of white are just going to try to assimilate with white America and get rid of their if you want to say it this way, get rid of their the remaining of the Native American DNA that they have or whatever is left of their native DNA, and they're just gonna make themselves whiter and assimilate into white America. Now the browning of black of America will hurt black people or the black community, which is already like I don't know like 12 13 only 12 13% of the population. Black population is already sort of mixed, sort of, and it's already mixing more, because of the fact that many black Americans already have some kind of white um ancestry in them, from like probably like 10% to like 30% on average or 20% on average. So you have more ethnic groups coming into America, and black population, their end goal, or their not all of them but a lot of them, their end goal is somehow believing that once they mix with all these ethnic groups that come into America, racism is going to disappear. And
Right, and that's not true. So, but let me pass. Hey, J.I. Niobe, go ahead and unmute yourself. G.A.
Yo,
Niobe. G.A. Niobe, going once, going
can
twice.
I
Okay.
can I go? I've been here for some time.
Yeah, go ahead, Kelvin. Go ahead, Kelvin.
Uh, First of all, I was shocked. I came for the Browning thing, then I got shocked. I mean, that patriarchy dude, does he think he's white or something? I mean, I was like shocked. I thought I was seeing things. I thought he was a black guy, but I think he thinks he's white or something. I don't
No, he
know.
identifies as black.
That's how he regularly talks. He's on another channel where he's quite. So I knew he was going to do that. That's what he used. That's his message usually. So,
Okay.
but most people, I guess, don't know about him, so they were shocked by him.
If it makes him feel good at night, maybe okay, he's a white man. Anyway, I think the Browning thing, actually, I think it was going to be a good thing for Black America. To be honest, that's what I wanted to say before I got shocked, because I think it's been 12% for centuries now, for decades now, 12%. So it has a potential to be a good thing for Black Americans, because it stops all the abortion stuff from happening in the community. So I think it's a good thing for Black people. Now on the I forgot a lot of the stuff I was going to say because a lot happened. Now on the African thing, I agree with Go Black. I've been watching his channel. I'm a fan, and I number one, I have to say this: as an African, I am in Africa right now. Even me myself, I used to stereotype Africa. I didn't think, before I started traveling the continent, I thought Africa was like this one thing, but it's very diverse. There are very many things going on. People talk about quality of life in Africa, and I'm like, okay, what are the metrics? Like the brother TH was saying, okay, what metrics are you using for quality of life? Because me, quality of life for me, because I live in Kenya, and it's a place where we have cars, we have houses. So for me, quality of life is having my car, my house, my everything. But a Masai is happier than me. He has his cows, he has his house, he doesn't pay any rent, he doesn't pay taxes because he's protected. He doesn't need all this modern, so-called modern stuff. He has a river down there where you can fetch water. He doesn't pay. So I think quality of life depends on it depends on whose perspective. You're touching it quality of life as something that Europeans have defined. Oh, you have to have this GDP, you have to have this thing. I live in Kenya. I was born and raised there. I grew up believing Zimbabwe was a hellhole, and then I went to Kigali. I was shocked because what they did to Kigali, what they did to Zimbabwe was like, oh, everything is bad. The currency, it's horrible. Blah blah blah. And I go there and it's beautiful. The currency is crap, but the people have food. The people farm. They're producing. I don't know if you saw this report. It was in some
one
journal.
second. Before I forget, TH, have you been to the continent before?
No, I've only been to Israel. I've never been to Africa.
Oh God, TH, come on, man. All right, go ahead, Kelvin.
Go ahead.
Israel is Northeast Africa.
So I went there and the food is nice. People have land. People have property. Unlike South Africa, where you go there and people live in shanties, the black people, all the white people own the land because they didn't have the balls to do what Mugabe did. People say Zimbabwe is poor, but Zimbabweans are happy. They're kind of happy. They're happier than South Africans, black South Africans. They own the land. They have their title deeds. You go there, yeah, the currency is crap. I concede, but they're cool. It's fine. I mean,
hey Kelvin,
yeah,
I don't want to come across as like I'm African hating or bashing like I probably sound sometimes. So I want to say to Dynast and to Go Black to Africa, like I look up to you guys. I support your movements, and I think like at the end of the day, whenever we all get our homes in check, I think linking up with the continent and everything, that's the way for Black people globally to survive. So I do want to say I agree and respect with you guys. But what I'll say to Kelvin when he asked about quality of life, and as a foundational Black American, when I look at what you said about the Maasai tribe, I did a quick Google search and I was like, boom, Maasai life expectancy, and it's 44 years for the men and 42 years for the women. And this is on multiple sites.
I don't believe that.
No, I understand if people don't believe it, but that's just a Google search.
That ain't true. I can tell you right now that's not true. I can tell you right now.
That's not true. Okay.
I'm just saying that's the type of stuff we see, and it's like I don't know if that's true or not, but that's speaking to something. When I spoke about what indicators I meant, like access to healthcare, running water, clean drinking water, and all that, like there is something there for them to say that number on multiple sites.
Well, I'm not saying that it's a utopia out here. I don't think that. But okay, what's the quality of life in the West? Are you guys living to 90?
I just mean we're not looking at. You won't find any numbers online that say we're 44 and 42 as our life expectancy.
Those numbers are made up. Those numbers are made up in the West.
A lot of that stuff is okay. For example, okay, if I do a Google search, right? Let's talk about Google, and I talk about Zimbabwe. They'll say Zimbabwe people, it's full of dying people. They are starving. They'll say something bad about it. You go there, the life expectancy is high. There are old people there. There are young people there. They have food. They have everything you're saying they don't have. They have cows. They have goats. They have wealth in terms of their currency sucks. We know that. My currency sucks in Kenya compared to the dollar. But you guys have an opportunity. For example, if you make money in dollars, like I make money in dollars, inflation is good for me. I see inflation I see the dollar going, the inflation of the dollar going up. I'm happy because I'll have more money. I'll have more dollars. So that will be more Kenyan money for me. So if you guys, for example, if you came to, I'm sure you guys make good money. I'm sure it's the money you make in a month. You can come here and build a house and live comfortably and not have to worry about a thing. Okay? So it's all about perspective for me. And I see this guy in the chat.
Let's pass it. Go ahead, go back to Africa. Go ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Kelvin, because you definitely hit on some key points there. Because the misconception is all these numbers and these stats that they put out there. I've said this before.
But go back to Africa. I'm sorry to interrupt, but what I'm noticing is, like TH, a lot of these folks don't travel.
They don't travel. They haven't been to the continent.
They don't travel. They rely on Google.
I mean, I travel. I just haven't been to Africa.
I'll say
at
this.
The chat.
Okay, but you never been.
Yeah, I've never been to Africa. I'll admit that, but I don't know how true those numbers are. And I do believe you guys when you say that like the West will make Africa look way worse. But there is something to the Maasai life expectancy. I'm seeing on multiple sites that like it's dangerously low.
Well, see, that's why
Dinus,
you
can I finish my point real
haven't been
quick?
to Africa. That's why you haven't been to Africa, because see, you like to Google search lies. And my thing is that just like Kelvin said, you know, the thing that when you really get down to visiting these countries, you got to see it for yourself. You know, you think that, you know, people think in America that they got it good. Oh, I'd rather be here than over in Africa. And I'll say this to Larry, is that I didn't come to Africa to you know, do business and all that. It just so happened that it did. I wanted to show Africa to the world. You know, Donis was one of the forerunners of when I used to love, man, you know, you going into these villages and talking to all these people. And it was very interesting and striking to me that, wow, some of the things that I were picking up that I didn't know, you know, it moved me to do the same. And then getting over here into the continent, you know, when you're blown away by, you know, how life is really here, you're like, man, hold up. You know, we think in America that we got it so good. And that's what my channel is. It's like, come over here and check for yourself, because what you think is freedom ain't necessarily freedom, especially when you've been brought up and lived in one place your whole life. When you think you got liberty, when you think that you can make the money that you're making is, you know, you've reached your ceiling and you think you're at a great place. Yo, I'm telling you, you need to rethink that, because, hey, I've made more money in dealing with Africa than I've made in my military career, almost. Not all, you know, almost, and that's no lie. And so my thing is that the opportunities that affords you to come, like Kelvin said, man, you can build you a house, man, for cheap here. You will own your house, but we're so used to mortgages. Dinah's asked the question, you know, I got a mortgage. Does that mean I own it? No, I'm a real estate agent in America. No, you don't own it. Stop paying your bill, and guess who comes for it? Guess what happens when you stop paying the property taxes? Guess who comes for it? So my thing is that it ain't like that in Africa and most countries I've been in. And so we got to renew our mindset in this thinking of what really is then a comfortable lifestyle. What is a freedom? What is liberty? Because we are only defining everything based upon the definition of what America told us.
Yo, Dinus.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me finish my point real quick. Because I wanted to go into the specifics of why the browning of America is a lot more harmful to Black America than it is to white America. And I was talking about Black identity and how ADO's people, the ADO's population already has some kind of mix. And not only that, but the ADO's population has this mindset of the one drop rule, where they feel as if that no matter who is being mixed into the population, no matter who is, you know, mixing out of the race, that the offspring, the outcomes of the mixing are gonna immediately or primarily identify as Black. And this is 100% false, as we have seen from the example of the patriarchy strikes back. This false belief that somehow when you mix with these people, the offsprings are gonna carry this Black identity with them, which as we grow up and we go away from the one drop rule, not just Black people, but America as a whole, they're starting to acknowledge that biracial and mixed people are not really the same as Black people, if we're gonna keep it 100% honest. And so this whole one drop mentality is gonna coincide with ethnic groups feeling like they can freely mix with Black Americans, drop the Black American population rate, and then have a bunch of kids who don't even identify as Black Americans, and somehow that's gonna help Black America get over the race problem in America.
Alex, can I ask you a question?
Wow. Whereas
There
on
is
the other
no race
hand,
problem in America.
wait. Whereas on the other hand, white Americans are very, very protective of their group and how their people can, go mix out with other ethnic groups. They're very protective of that. That's why
Alex,
there
can I
is
ask
no.
you a
That's why
question?
there is no
Why did
one
they
drop.
let you
Well,
immigrate in if
hold
they're
up,
so
bro.
protective?
Shut the fuck up and let me finish.
Well,
That's why there is no such
Alex,
thing.
Go play with your spear,
we
you
got your
mud
point,
hut
Alex. We
liver.
got your point.
That's why
We got your point.
there is no such
Like I
thing as
said,
the one drop rule
Like I said,
in
I
white
don't.
America.
Is there such thing as the
Patriarchy,
derivative of
the
an ape
patriarchy
rule?
strikes
Is
back
there
was
is
not
there
able
is
to
there is there a
identify as
derivative of
a
an ape
white
rule?
man.
Is it?
But
I
he
would
can
enslave you
identify
right
as a
now
black
if it
man
wasn't
for
for
some
white
reason,
people.
and
If
we
it
let him
wasn't
get
for
away
white
with it.
people, I would
It
enslave
just
you right
doesn't make
now.
sense.
Yo,
You have a
Pedro,
low
keep it
IQ.
constructive, bro.
You have a
Keep it
low
constructive.
IQ. You are an
Bro,
inferior
you're a white
person.
guy. Stop
You are inferior,
pretending.
and
You're
you
a
are a
white
derivative of an
man,
ape.
bro.
You are a
Stop
derivative of
pretending.
an
You're a
ape. Go
dumbass.
back to
You're a
your
Neanderthal.
mud
Shut
hut.
the fuck
Go
up.
back to the zoo.
Shut the fuck
Go
up,
back to the
Whoa,
zoo.
Neanderthal.
We got
Shut
an
whoa.
up,
Hey,
escaped.
keep it
Hey,
Neanderthal.
constructive,
we got an
man. Hey,
escaped
Linus, mute
orangutan on
people,
the
Okay,
man.
loose.
Neanderthal.
Your people are inferior, which
Okay,
is why you've
Neanderthal.
always been colonized.
Okay,
You
Neanderthal.
are
We know
literally
you're like
Who
60%
did
white,
a
bro. Shut
okay?
up.
What's wrong with that?
This is the
What's wrong with
exact.
that? Hold
This
on,
is
what's
the
wrong with that?
exact
I'd
thing
rather be
I'm
that than
saying. This is the
60%
exact
ape.
thing I'm saying.
Go get the
The browning
Pokeball
of
out.
America
Go
will
get
not
the
help Black
Pokeball out,
America
you
at
ape.
all. All we're
What are you
gonna get
talking
is
about? You're
people like
living
the
in a white man's
patriarchy strikes
apartment.
back.
Who
Doesn't
brought
fucking
those lights to
identify as
you?
black,
Did the
and he
Africans bring those
spends
lights to
his
you?
time
Did
trying to
the
go
Africans
against Black
create that
interests.
apartment? No, I didn't
Shut
think
the
so.
fuck up,
You've
dumbass.
created nothing. You've
Shut
built
up, shut
nothing.
up, shut up.
You've built nothing
Shut
at
up,
all.
Red Baby.
You will always
Shut up, Red
be
Baby.
somebody else's
Shut up.
slave.
Shut up.
You will always be
Shut up,
somebody
Red
else's
Baby.
slave.
Shut up, Red Baby.
Okay,
Hey,
ape
patriarch,
baby.
patriarch,
Okay,
Okay,
ape
Red Baby.
baby.
patriarch.
Okay, ape baby.
Okay,
Hey,
Red
patriarch,
Okay,
Baby.
ape baby.
patriarch,
That's why
Okay,
your
Red
mom.
Baby.
That's why your
Okay.
mom got your mom. You were
Shut
birthed by
the fuck
child
up.
soldiers.
Ain't nobody trying to
Child
let you think,
soldiers
bruh.
raped your
Ain't
mom.
nobody trying to let
Child
you think,
soldiers
bruh.
raped
Shut
your
up.
mom in Beast of No
Shut your
Nation.
white ass.
Oh my God.
Dynas, why is
Yeah,
this guy
please.
here?
Okay,
Seriously,
Dennis, can I say
please.
something real quick, man?
That guy,
I've been here for a minute.
See, this is the problem of being adopted by white parents. You see, that's why we are banning this adoption of black African children by white people, because they adopt them, they become sexually confused, and then they become this guy. That's the
Sorry,
problem.
did you say you're banning that in Kenya? You're banning that?
Yeah, they are working
Oh.
on it, because they are working on Ethiopia also. Ethiopia is working on it a lot. Ethiopia
Well,
and
I think
Eritrea.
Ethiopia already passed it. Ethiopia already
Yeah.
passed it.
So that's the problem. When you have these people like this adopted by white parents, they get taught this nonsense, and then they come here and acting like they're the white man. So that's the
Well, I'm gonna
issue.
say this right here. Let me say this because I mean, totally. I don't know Patriarch what his whole motive was coming on here, but to call people monkeys, to call banana boat riders, to call, this right here is just one indicator. He called himself black. This is just one indication of the mentality of those that claim to be, but really inwardly they are European. I mean, to insult people, you're gonna talk about somebody's mama being raped by the white people. You have nothing, Africa. This person here, this type of it exists. They exist everywhere, but this is a shame that this type of person, I think he's just a troll, really. But trying to agitate and create an argument. But the mindset, I see it all the time, though, when I'm back there in America, that we fighting now about not being black and want to be Americans and want to put away anything about Africa and want to stand on the fact that, we are a different people. Well, hey, to each his own, but my DNA, and I know my skin color where I come from. So,
The thing I wanted to mention in regards to you go black to Africa and Dynast, one thing I've noticed over the last 7 years on YouTube, there are more and more channels which have been set up by either Black Americans or people from the Caribbean or even Africans who are growing up in the UK and Caribbean people in the UK who are actually going back to Africa. They've been setting up channels talking about it. One of them that I watch is a lady called Lady Visionary. She's Jamaican. She grew up in the UK. Her and her husband went back to Rwanda. They talked about the trials and tribulations they were going through trying to get the citizenship and the passport. She's now there. She's now trying to help out in a village to help with creating a water system, because there's a lake there and they're digging ditches and putting in pipes. That's just one example. There are a lot of these examples that I'm seeing. So there seems to be something where more and more people are going back to Africa. It hasn't made the mainstream news or as such. I think I did actually see on BBC News Africa where a group were talking about it. But the point is, it's not like some fringe little movement, what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
But I get the impression that people who come and debate against you or attack you, they seem to think that you guys are like some tiny little fringe, but it's not. I think that it actually, I wouldn't say it's a movement, but it's slowly becoming more and more popular. And I find it interesting what you said, because it wasn't just a financial reason you went back to Africa. There was spiritual, from what you were saying, go back to Africa. It was something spiritual, which I think, fair play to you. I can't argue against that, because I just saw it that, okay, you were looking for a better life, good, but for you, it wasn't just materialistically a better life. You actually feel a spiritual connection, which is deep, and I applaud you for that. So
Can I say one thing before I hop off?
One second, Kelvin. 1 second, Kelvin. Guys, hit the like button again. Please hit that like button as you come to the chat room again. Do me a favor, hit that like button. And Larry, to answer you, so when I was so back in I think 2013, 2014, like when I started first posting just a couple YouTube videos as far as me traveling to Dogon country, I was all alone, right? I want to say probably around 2018. Because at first, as far as when it came to like the go back to Africa, it was just like I hate to use this word hotep, but it was just like the black fist hotep, and I was a black professional. I was in corporate America. And you didn't see too many young brothers in corporate America talking about going to Africa. In fact, when I first told people I was going to Africa in 2011, they thought I was crazy. I would say probably about 2017, 2018 is when I noticed a shift where more like black professionals started reaching out to me about traveling and relocating to Africa, about 2017, 2018. But like 2014, it was, like it wasn't really a lot of black professionals.
Yeah, I have noticed it as well with the people who do it. They're setting up more and more channels, so it's not some tiny fringe thing. So I've been watching you guys, not just you, but the Black Brits here who've been going back and trying to take some inspiration from them. But I don't have the mindset that Go Black to Africa was thinking about, because I've got family back in Africa who are entrepreneurial, who started off from poverty and had success. I don't have that entrepreneurial spirit. I still have the mindset where I look for a good job with my qualifications, and I look to get given a job that pays me well. I don't have that entrepreneurial thing where I can set up a business. I'd like to learn it, and I try and listen to people, but it's not there. So that's why it's a bit scary for me going back, even though there is land there and properties being built on it, which is going to be rented out. I still don't have that mindset like, okay, this is how I'm going to start the business. This is what I'm going to do. And I guess if I had that, I probably would have been gone from the UK a long time ago. But I still have that mindset of get a good job. So I've got the good job. Okay, so I guess I have to work on that. I don't know how I'll change it, but I'm going to have to work on that.
I want to piggyback off. I want to piggyback off what Donnie
said. Let Kevin go ahead, Kelvin. Go ahead and finish what you had to say.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was like, okay. I think I've noticed the trend. The trend has been there because I've been following Dynast since around 2016 when you first went to Zanzibar, something. So the trend has been there. There are so many African Americans that are coming to the continent, and that's why I believe this FBA and ADOS stuff. I think it's kind of governmental. It's kind of like a CIA thing. I kind of because when there was an influx of African Americans coming, government started noticing, like the government of Ghana noticed. So that's when they started doing that whole 2019 thing. They did the thing at 2019. What was it called? Yeah, year of return. So after that blew up, even people of Congress were coming to Ghana. That's when we started seeing ADOS and FBA, and so it's kind of like it kind of shook the American powers that be. So what I would say to African Americans who come to Africa, my small advice, if I can give, is a lot of people come, a lot of African Americans come, but it's not really, it's more emotional, it's more spiritual than it is practical. So they come and maybe they try one country, they don't like it, there's something, they face some adversity, they go to Ghana, they face some adversity, then they like, oh man, Africa doesn't work, so I'll just go back. I think, if you come to Africa with just emotions, where you are like, oh, I just want to meet my ancestors, all that emotions, that those feelings will fade after some point. After you face some adversity, you will start to feel, okay, I have to go back to America now because this is not working. You need to come. Yeah, you can visit with that emotional feel, but after some time, come with a plan. Like you're trying to start a business, you have money, you have capital, you have connections. That's when you will feel the real value, because I think Africa is for people who have capital. If you have capital and you can invest and you can build something, you will. And you're coming from America, especially if you're a black person who's Brit or American, you'll enjoy it because you don't have the problems that you left over there, racism and all that. That's all I can say. If you come
All right,
if you come with an
Black.
emotional lens, you'll fail, basically.
Go ahead, Black Lion.
Hey, and what the topic today about the Browning of America. Listen, in the long term, we have to be honest with each other. It's not going to be effective. It's not going to be good. Why? Because the majority of us in our community are very dysfunctional and very disorganized. And one thing Marcus Garvey said, the greatest weapon used against the Negro is disorganization and unification. And we're not unified or organized in any shape or form. So it'll be more of a problem. Why? We're not as educated like we used to be. We don't value family. We don't value getting together. We don't value intellect or any forms of science or any form of culture that can really help the community as a whole. We don't value that anymore. The thing is, and the thing is, like, we can't even go. A lot of us, especially not all of us, but a lot of us can't go to our communities and go to the elders and get the proper guidance. A lot of us are so dysfunctional and so disorganized. It's damn right scary. Like 50 million African Americans right now in this country. Why the and the thing is, so why the hell we have this big population and we haven't progressed? We progressed more in Jim Crow and slavery, and we were only like less than 2 or 3 million. So what's going on here? We don't have a culture where we promote being better people, having the family, having respecting love of education and unity. We are too dysfunctional and disunified to even go any further. This is just a harsh reality. And the sad part is, a lot of people are contributing to this form of dysfunction, disunity, because that makes it hard for us to get where we need to go, because we made that part of our culture, and that's the dangerous thing we ever did. That is the reality, and that's the problem. That's why a lot of black people. That's why, like, if I learned anything from Harriet Tubman or Nat Turner, they say I'm going to get the best Negroes or the Negroes that are willing to come with me. Leave the rest behind. Leave them. Let them go. We can't fix them. That's something we all got. African Americans, the ones who have the decent mindset, have to take in perspective that the great Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner couldn't save everybody. So what do you think? So what do you think in our minds that we can? And they were one of the best and brightest people who are willing to fight in the plantation, who want to escape and have a better life. It will take damn near hundreds of years, probably 100 years plus, just for black people to get married again or be a family again. That'll take 100 years plus, because we're too dysfunctional and we're not willing. And I think a few minority of us in the community are willing to call this dysfunction and disarray without being attacked by our own community, because we see it as culture and second nature. And the sad part is, on top of that, and the thing is, like, that mixed race brother that Dinas you had, and Dinas, I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty disappointed in you having that guy on longer, because the way he disrespected him, he is the result of black people not unifying and said, you talk like that shit again, we're going to beat your ass to the point where even the cops won't recognize you. I'm sick and I'll be honest, I'm sick and fucking tired of letting mixed race or non-black people go that far disrespecting my race like that. That is too damn far. You talk about European Jew, a Chinese man, you'll be jumped in the streets. I am tired of that. You can disagree, go ahead. I don't care. But don't you dare disrespect anybody, especially in our community, especially what they've been through, especially our ancestors. That is the result. On something else, that's the result when you marry outside the race, have kids outside the race, and let the white side down there dominate that child's way of thinking. That and the thing is, he only, and I seen people like him. People like him are only except being called black is because white people don't want nothing to do with this half-breed ass. That is the truth. White people have their own form of racial class system. If you are white, there's still there. If say you are Caucasian, for example, and you are say like Irish or something, there's still a whole new form of a class and racial system in Europe and for Europeans. You might be white, but you're not the high level Anglo-Saxon white. They have their own racial system in their community that they're not going to talk about. That I studied in ancient Europe. They still practice this day in America. So trust me, he's below the totem pole. But this is the results once we date outside, have kids outside, and then you don't teach them to respect the race. If you're mixed, fine, but you better respect both sides. And you better learn the truth from both sides. And this the problem. Like we were unified, we can keep like keep people like him or anybody their mouth shut about our community. I understand we all got issues. That's normal. But when you go that fucking far, disrespecting my race and my ancestors, oh, we're going to take this outside. It's one thing Mike Tyson said. Social media made people too comfortable to make people not get punched in the face. And I'm sick of that shit. That's why when I saw Blackman, like last podcast yesterday, when the Caribbean sister and the brother from America were going at it, I'm tired of that bullshit. We all got problems. Can we just get with the decent people in our community and just build or leave, whatever? At this point, I don't care what your ideology is. As long as you want to help the race in any shape or form, I am down. I am good. Just get the best people, or at least the decent people, and just build or leave from there. Because sad part is in Black America, we're so far gone, we're too ignorant to see the dysfunction until you leave the country. That is the issue I have, and the sad part, just hearing that kind of man, I don't call him a brother, that kind of fucking coon ass. That is the result of when we let other people go too far with disrespecting us. And unless we understand and unless we at least create a culture where you don't allow to disrespect us like that, this kind of dysfunction, that kind of disrespect will keep going on in America, especially in America. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. All right. What we'll do? 1 second. Let's pass it to our Miss Ibarra. You know, our Lori. She's entered the building. Our Lori. Go ahead and unmute yourself. You got to unmute yourself, Miss Ibarra. You got to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Hear you just fine. Go ahead.
Okay, so high vibration to every one of you. Healing energy to you. I pray that all of you are doing well. Ekason, my brother, right? Ekason. Omonko. Àwọn olórí ńkọ́. Àlàáfíà ni, that's right. So, very again, we should not be so upset with the young man that was saying that he's American, right? It's all right. He is American. He is the product of his environment, right? We do have to take account of this society, right? This place that we are in, that everybody have to take a side, right? That's the way that they set up this country. So you see that you say, I'm going to be on the black side, or you want to be on the white side, and then you have those that are straddling the fence. You know, they're either going to be on one side or the other. So that's what the brother is doing. So he's a half white, right? So that is his nature that's showing up. That white side is showing up. Anyway, so I believe somebody was talking about how that Africans have the life expectancy of 47 years. That is a lie from the pit of hell. That is so disrespectful to you as a black man, the original man, the father of civilization. If you have a life expectancy under the age of 50, you should really be concerned that what's going on, because it is your organ that is being harvested all over the world to use, right? You should not regurgitate anything that anybody is saying as fact. We're talking about Google. They can put anything. You say you Google the information. As if Google is what? right? When I remember, and I think Brother Nice, all of you can remember this case. Early 90s, every disease is black disease. Every disease is black disease. If they want to say high blood pressure, they will say black people are the one that's getting it. HIV, black people are the one. And fast forward, we found out that HIV was actually invented to destroy black people. Every disease is a black disease, and you guys are so shameless. You will repeat the same thing. First of all, my grandfather, my mother's father, lived to be 111 years in Nigeria.
I said the Maasai tribe specifically. I wasn't talking about Africans.
But it's still a lie. I'll tell you right now, that's a lie.
Let's
I'm not
talk
pushing
about
back hard on
it.
that, but I just wanted to make sure I don't think I was talking about all
Listen.
Africans.
Hold on. You will get your chance. Maybe it is time for us to start educating each other. And as you're looking at me, I was born in 1970. If I was born in 1970, how old do you think I am? Right? My mother is in her 80s. Do you understand? My mother can still have children at the age of 55. Most Black American female cannot have children at the age of 55 because of what is happening to them in this country. You talking about how you have a better life expectancy. Let me tell you, stop deleting yourself right this minute. I work in a hospital. That was the last job. And the majority of people that are coming there are Black people who are I'm talking about morbidly obese.
Well, Missy Barr, if I can interject. So when I bring people to Africa, the majority of questions I get, Dynast, I got diabetes. Do they have this for me? Can they treat this? I got dialysis. They got dialysis centers in Africa. You got a point.
It's because the people are not eating proper nutrients. Do you understand? Do you even know what is going on right now? The idea that you can plant something on the ground and let it grow and eat it. We have moved away from the past of my grandfather. That my grandfather on my father's side has his own farm. You know Abeokuta, right? You know Ogun State. My grandfather will walk from Ogun State all the way to Lagos State to come and visit us. Most Nigerians can't even walk that far. And we're talking about as black people, as a race, we have bought into the degenerative these people are behaving, where you are eating so much meat, so much starch. So please, before you start saying black African has the life expectancy of 47, I don't know where you get that from. The oldest woman in the world right now is 120 years, 128 years old. Like, she's still alive.
I wasn't talking about all Africans.
No. I'm just just in case anybody that have the same mindset, I'm dispelling some stuff. And I can take you all of my cousins, all of them in their 70s. I'm talking about cousins in their 70s, 60s. So it is true that most Africans are having issue with diabetes, but what you have to do, you have to eat more fruits and vegetables. I don't know why we are anti-eating fruit, fresh fruit that comes from the ground, where everybody is drinking soda. Anyway, that's not the issue. One thing I wanted to talk about the browning of America. I hope the FBAs particularly, and the Africans that are coming up, you better take a look. If they can overturn Roe v. Wade, you will know that every gain that Black Americans made will be overturned. That is the next step. So everybody, you better go ahead and tie your rope, tie your belt. They're going to and you can't keep fighting the same, that every step that you take to better this country. Black American fighting for civil rights was to propel humanity forward. I don't even think those that run this country understand that it is in their best interest to appear to be human being. But because they are not human like that, that you will now. I'm not offended that they overturn Roe v. Wade. They should, right? I'm not offended by that. But I'm saying that them being able to overturn that, just start looking at every other. Remember, all your First Amendment, Second Amendment, the Fourth and Fifth Amendment that really affect Black people have been overturned anyway. If you go and look at all those, your Fourth Amendment or your Fifth, Sixth, Seventh, all those things, all those laws have been overturned. So the things that you should be fighting for, you're fighting for fighting Africans, the people that don't have as much power. What is African going to do to you? They call you names. What can they do for you? You're saying that Africans do not, they don't have light. Majority of Africans own their own land. Majority of Africans, if they have a car, they're not paying any notes. Majority of Africans can also afford. Now, I'm saying majority. Many of them, if they don't have a home or land in the city, they have in their villages. I myself come from two groups that are landowners. To be saying that Africans don't have the right to come here, or if they come here, they have to respect you. They just need to respect themselves. If each one of us, if we respect ourselves individually, respecting those that build this country will not be a problem. And particularly in Black American society, one of the reasons that have become where we're killing each other is because of this respect all the time. Africans don't respect us. Another Black man don't respect you. If they step on your foot, you shoot them, you kill them. These things, get away from that. Yes, you have two oppressed group of people fighting over. Why is that again? Fighting over whether you live a long life in America. What is long life? Where you have to be somewhere today, a white police officer have killed a Black man today. Right now, right this minute. Right this minute somewhere. Somewhere, a white teacher has attacked a Black child. Somewhere, right this minute. Somewhere in this country. How many Black folks that have gone to Africa can tell you that the same thing similarly has happened to them, that they step up in Africa and they're killing them. The things that we are fighting over doesn't even make any sense. You need to keep your ears to the ground, peel your eyes open, and start taking account of what is going on in this society, how we are being affected collectively. Now, for all those who have been attacking Africa, and if they are out of pocket, you have to call them out. But if you're attacking Africa, how many of you have attacked Latinos? Are they not benefiting from what you fought for? How many people have attacked Asians? Are they not benefiting from what you have worked for? Is it just Africans that benefit from it? Black people, we are the original people. I will not apologize for coming to America. My ancestors have been coming to America long before slavery. Do you understand? I was born in Chicago, and you can find Yorubas in Chicago before slavery. I will be damned if I'm going to apologize for being here. I was supposed to be here at this time. My ancestors have been here in and out. I am a woman of the planet, and I have the right to go to anywhere I want to be. I will not be ashamed of it. However, it is my responsibility to show love to my people wherever I find them. It is my responsibility to look at you with kindness, to deal with you in kindness, to understand your plight, and to make your plight my plight.
Miss Abira, like, I agree with everything you're saying, but on this platform, if you try to tell them that Africans were coming here before slavery, they're going to say you're lying.
They are. The Yoruba particularly. You can find the Yorubas in Chicago long before slavery.
I bring something like that up, they say I'm lying.
Yorubas are in Chicago. You see all those tribal mark? All those tribal mark. Yoruba particularly. You will find them in Chicago. This is why you will see that today, till today, Nigerians still gravitate towards Chicago. Yorubas particularly. They don't know there's a reason why they still going there. There is something there.
Mr. Brown, let me say this. It was via Haiti, though. They came via Haiti, Trey.
Yes.
If you know, Chicago was founded by a Haitian. I forgot his name, but there were Yorubas that went through Haiti that came
Yes.
to Chicago, right?
Listen, we are a people of the planet. This is our planet. The idea that we keep challenging, the only thing you need to do, each of us needs to do, is to start taking accountability for each other. If I say travel to Africa, it doesn't mean I want you to go and stay there. Travel. Don't you have the right to enjoy being anywhere in the world? It's your planet. Don't be stuck in one place.
Yo, I just want to piggyback off what Don. I agree with you, Miss Alberio.
Can
I
I
want to
get
piggyback
on?
off what Don has said before I go real quick. Like when you brought up the Dogon video, that's one of the first videos that I did watch of you, and that changed. It was during a time where people were talking like the patriarchy guy, disrespecting Africa as far as the intellect and inferiority and all that. So I was looking for stuff, and I found the Dogon tribe, their knowledge. I learned about the Empire of Benin. So when I suggest everybody watch, your Dogon video when you went over there, and then learn that history, so that, because the patriarchy he don't speak for Black Americans, as we all know, but the stuff he was saying is completely debunked whenever you learn that history of Africa, man. So I'm just going to shake on that point, though.
Okay.
In fact, let me tell you this.
And
One
then
of there was a book.
I'm gonna pass to Miss Wakoya. But go ahead.
All
Miss
right.
Barber.
Thank you, everyone. Greetings. I'm actually pretty odd that I'm on a platform where we have people like you and Go Black to Africa, people that I watch on YouTube all the time, and I get to actually participate here. Sister Ibarra, I really appreciate the things you say. You speak like a lot of elder sisters that I have in my family. Obviously, you're Nigerian. I'm Togolese and partly Ghanaian. My ancestry is actually Yoruba. That's another story. But I wanted to say something before I address the topic. I want to talk to the people who are basically quoting Google and saying, I saw this on Wikipedia and all that. For your information, Google is nothing but a platform of half truth, misinformation, lots of deception. If you don't know, quote me on this one. Google was a military DARPA installation funded by a lot of military funding to try to create a web of misinformation and information, half truth, to really circle around the globe. So it has its inception as a company from geographical information systems that were built and funded by military. And a lot of times people forget that Google as a company may have its commercial role in trying to digitalize world information, but its inception was as a military propaganda machine. So people stop quoting Google and say, I saw it here. That's also Wikipedia. There are countries in this planet as of today that have offices all over their capitals, where young people coming out of the universities, their job is to go every single day, mine the internet, sow information on there. You go onto Wikipedia and quote. Nobody validates what's in Wikipedia. It is people constantly churning and updating files to misdirect the world. Everything I've said here can be independently verified. So when you take information from Google, don't take it as absolute biblical truth, because it's a lot of deliberate things. Governments of the world, understanding the power of social media, the fact that people can communicate directly right now and mobilize, have realized the best way to keep confusion is the things that are being done today, where we have people, Black Africans going against African Americans, vice versa, using information. It is all part of a plan. Now, let me attack the topic of discussion, which is the browning of America. We have to remember something. America as a country, I speak as an immigrant to this country who has made it. And I know a lot of my AA brothers would say, oh, she's one of them. No, I'm not. I'm a very conscious African woman who came here, understood the system, understood the opportunities, built a company with Black Americans. I don't show my face for a reason. We built a company that makes millions using our brains and our minds. This thing that is happening, it's not something that we should come on YouTube and talk and try to win points for. I said it better. I argued better. That is not what we are about. We are about what we're calling survival, we're taking our resources back. Our resources were taken from us. A lot of immigrants follow their resources. If our countries were not, first of all, we'll talk about slavery. Slavery took 22 plus, some people say more, millions of our brothers and sisters. Yes, our brothers and sisters, even if you do not want to accept it. African kings participated, yes, but many African kings also fought it. Our continent was depleted of our brain power. Our brothers and sisters who will be the engineers, the mathematicians, the poets, they were taken by force and by coaction and by collaboration, brought to this country to build it. So we have every right to follow our families to come here. They take our gold from the floor, the ground, and price us at low prices and bring it up here and multiply it. We understand it. And so we should be allowed to come here. We are following the trail of what was started.
Exactly.
So now, if you are an African American or you are an FBA and you think you are ADOS and you minimize your African connections, that's on you. But I want to tell you something. What is happening now is not going to look good. The world resources are getting depleted. Africans are waking up. They are going to deprive at some point the West of these resources. And when the West has no resources, you people will pay the price. Because when they squeeze, when the resources are no longer available, China is making its grab. India is making its grab. The Africans are going to make their own grabs. And guess who is going to be left hanging? So the browning of America looks like this. They're going to have people who have a minority blackness in them, like the toxic brother who spoke, who has no connection to you, will say, I am the hierarchy now. You people who are down there, you still do not have access to resources because consciously I am a white person. But Americans will say, look, we've given role like they did with Obama. Oh, you have a black president now. We have dealt with racism. So you think about it. When you get your reparations, does it mean that racism is going to go away? Does it mean that the American system is going to change? They're going to put a buffer class between you, and that's at the Hispanics. The Hispanics will now become the people who will be termed as the minority and the ones that are deprived, and they will mess up the people at the bottom. Capitalism only survives when there is a lower class, and the lower class has always been black people. So you should understand that what has to happen is a grab for power. Power will give the resources back to the black people from whom it was taken 500 years ago. So it is in your own best interest to ally with Africans, not to tell us to get out of here. If it's a matter of reparations, if this is because you think you're going to have money, Africans will never and have never, as a group, said we want reparations from America. This has been a phantom discussion created by EDIOS and FBA to create the division. And the division is being created deliberately because social media was uniting Africans. I can be in Ghana and talk to an African American in America, and we can say and share things. So social media brought us together, and the powers that be realized this is not good. This can't be allowed to happen. So however they did it, you have FBA, you have ADOS, you're fighting each other first and foremost, and you're telling the other, your natural allies, the people who are allies to you by blood, you're telling them, go over here. You're telling them, we're not interested in your case. Let us fight it alone. How civil rights was won with African American leadership, but then a lot of the Africans who came here at the time of independence, when Africa was gaining independence, they were part of your struggle. And it was in that same vein that the American leadership realized, look, these Africans are becoming independent. They're going to ally with these people. Let's give them civil rights. Do you think it was something that was fought just on the streets of America? You people don't know history, and you choose the history you want to know. You choose the one that makes you feel good. You choose the one that says Africans are apes. Look, scrape down, take an ape and basically shave off his skin. It is not black, his skin is white. So if you want to call somebody a monkey, look on the other side, because we are the oldest Homo sapiens. Exactly. I called him because I hear a lot of things that makes my heart bleed. There are Africans and African Americans here in the Silicon Valley making moves, understanding that we can only do it together. And yet we have people here making light of it, arguing, saying people are this, and you don't realize that what is coming. I feel almost like it is this crying and screaming in the dark, screaming into silence, telling my people, wake up. The world is changing. Africa will exact its role. Trust me, the young people in Africa, by sheer numbers, they will take over the resources of their land. And if it doesn't deprive you here calling yourself FB and ADOS who has not made any connection to Africa, slavery will look like a blessing. I'm done. Thank you.
My sister, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Do you know how what you're saying is so important? So I received a text message from my sister yesterday, right? I did not read that text message, but I took a look at it. What that text message was talking about how Bill Gates is using black water machinery in Nigeria, right? You see, in 2015, I don't know what happened to me, but I started telling all my family, right? I started telling them, I said, it's time for us to go back home. And I said, something about this country doesn't feel right to me anymore. And around the same time I was saying it, it was during the election. Before you know it, what's his name came up and said he wanted to be a president, Donald Trump. The way he was talking and the way that the media were giving him the play-by-play, that they were now questioning. This is a guy that all of us knew, but certain questions were supposed to be asked. It was not being asked. I said, So I started telling people, I said, Donald Trump is going to win the election. And if Donald Trump win election, this is the end of America as we know it, because America is trying to go back to before civil rights, right? I said, these people want to crawl on the ground on all fours. That was the language I was using. And I kept talking about it. And as I would go among Nigerians, right? Oh, they would say, God forbid. I say, God already accept this prayer. I'm telling you, this guy is going to win the election, period. Now, around the same time I was in class, right? And we were joking. And my professor, everybody was saying, God forbid. I said, no. I said, Donald Trump is going to win. And the reason why Donald Trump is going to win is because America is looking for somebody that is going to be their leader so that they can do what they want to do, right? What I did not know as I was talking, and at the same time I was telling my mom, everybody, I said, these people are going back. They want to retrace their steps back to Africa. I said, if you can colonize Nigeria, if you can divide Nigeria, you can actually colonize the entire continent again. That was the conversation I was having with everybody. And one of the reasons why I said, I no longer want my family to come here anymore. That's it. The rest of us needs to go back. Fast forward, every one of you remember when Clinton went to Nigeria and said there was a Boko Haram. Up until that time, when she called it Boko Haram, nobody don't know what that is, right? Now we're talking about Bill Gates is in Nigeria using the black water machineries to attack people. All the shit that people seeing that where people are being killed, they're saying that other people were being trained to go and attack. So now you will see the Christians and Muslims fighting, the Igbos, the Yorubas, and Hausa, they are fighting. But nobody knows what is happening to them. There is an article, later on I will forward it to, I'll put it in the chat somewhere later, where they were talking about how Bill Gates want to use the Monsanto seed. Why should we not keep our own seed? What is your business with us? I would say for us, whenever you see something on the news, they're saying something, we need to start using our common sense if we got one. Everything is not always what it looks like. Why would the Hausas want to keep killing the Christians? For what purpose? Why would the Muslims want to keep killing the Christians? For what purpose? These are the people that told us that Pakistani are animal, they are violent. Now, you have quite a few Africans living in Pakistan, showing what is going on in Pakistan and how friendly those people are. There is nothing that anybody can say if those that were born here, who have been here for generation and generation, I'm talking about those that built this country, you have to align yourself with the continent for the purpose of power. I've said it before. Trying to do all these things by yourself is not going to go anywhere. Calling yourself Black American, which you are, you're going to have to say, you have to attach your DNA to something. Nobody's trying to, they hold you, you deserve your reparation. Nobody is arguing that. Anybody that argue that is stupid, right? But please remember, you are acting Africa that they want to come and get into your reparation. How about the Latinos? How about the Asians? Do they not have more power than African?
I think FBAs are a minority though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
and then
We
and,
need
and
to
then
start saying that. We
yeah,
need to
Missy,
start. You
Missy
are the
Barr, let's
minority.
yeah, Missy Barr, let's Pat, go ahead and unmute yourself, Chrissy. I know you've been patiently waiting. Go ahead,
Indeed.
Chrissy.
Yes, thank you. Hi, everyone. I really wanted to come on earlier when the little half breed was on talking, but y'all dealt with him the way y'all need to deal with him. I think one of the brothers said there's a reason why you've stopped this interracial adoption because of those kind of products. So I understand. But what I wanted to say in terms of what I noticed about this whole FBA thing, there's this constant narrative of fleeing and comparisons. Oh, you got zinc roof and you got dirt this. Let me tell you something. You see, I'm from Jamaica. I'm gonna speak for a Black immigrant as much as I can. Okay. We don't come here looking for self-confidence. We have our self-confidence before we reach these shores. So comparison, the zinc roof, the flip-flop, whatever you want to say, you can't break down confidence that is bloodline level. Okay? So you have to decide where your confidence lie. Is your confidence in the skyscrapers and the Chick-fil-A, like the half-breed said, and the library or the paved roads? Is that where your confidence is? Or is your confidence blood level? That's what you have to decide. Because materialism will fade. And when materialism fade, your self-confidence that you built on a house of cards will blow away. So all of this comparison about who economy is this and who economy is not that to build up self-confidence don't work. That's a superficial self-confidence. You need to go deeper. You need to go to the root, because all that thing come and go. When people build themselves on material self-confidence, they'll do anything for money. They'll prostitute for money. They'll do anything because money is the god. So make the decision there. But I can tell you, coming from, I know myself, I know my roots, I know my history, I know what my people did and what they didn't do, all that. You can't shake my self-confidence with all this talk. Most of us, you can't shake our self-confidence because it's bloodline level. So find a different way. I understand you feel disrespected. Yes, there have been some Black immigrants who have been disrespectful. Should they be checked? Absolutely. But this whole movement of almost this anti-Black immigrant thing that you got going on, it's not longevity in it. You can continue it if you want, but just remember, on the other side of the road, the white man looking at you the same way you looking at us, he looking at you the same way, and you're at a disadvantage in this country. The Hispanic, who's way more than us, looking at you the same way. The Chinaman looking at you the same way. The Arab looking at you the same way. So be careful. The hole you dig, you might fall in it.
Exactly.
Fall in it. Might not work that way. So that's all I want to say.
No,
Exactly. That's very true.
I think the FBA thing, to be honest, the FBA, I think it's a government thing. Tariq Nasheed looks to me very shifty. That guy, because he seems to be like he's the type of guy to jump onto anything as long as it makes him money. And I think he's an agent. I don't trust him. So I think that's it. And another thing about it is I think they are a minority. These people are a minority. They are very loud, but they are a minority anyway. So I don't think, uh, and I think I think America is a place where it's very narcissistic. Americans are very narcissistic, and I think even Black Americans fall in that. They get infected with that disease. Some of them. So it's like they look down on the African the way the white man looks down on them, or the Caribbean. They look down on the Caribbean person. So I think it's just unproductive. And the problem with Black people is all over the world is we never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. Whenever there's back in the 60s, Kwame Nkrumah was telling us Africans we need to unite and be one country,
Mm.
so that when we go to the world marketplace, we can be one block, like a United States of Africa.
Exactly.
But you see, Africans said, the other president said, nah, let's let's do this thing separate. And you see what happened. We missed an opportunity, and that's what's happening here. We have a lot of myopia among Black people. So some of these people follow Tariq Nasheed and FBA. It's myopia. They think, okay, I'm gonna get a check, and that the problem is this: there's nobody in America. I study America. There's nobody in America who's getting rich through politics. Nobody. You make your money either legally or illegally,
Mm.
and then you go into politics.
That's it.
These guys are trying to get money through politics. You're trying to get rich through politics, through reparations. It doesn't work. You buy the politician. You can't buy the politician when you're broke. You get the money like the Italians did illegally. You buy the politicians. These guys are doing it the other way around. They want the government to give them money. So it's like, okay, good luck. And they think shitting on Black immigrants is the way to do it. I'm sorry.
My brother, in fact, I say that Black Americans do have the right to demand for reparation. Right? Demand for it. Let the world know that you've already demand for it. All of us agree with it. But are we all just as a people? You need to study these people. The people, I mean, do we understand what these people actually did to us? Do we even understand? I mean, put the money aside. Who put another human being and tie them up on a rope, right? After raping them in front of the entire community, and then you beat the us and let the us tear them apart. Who does that? Who does that? Even if we don't know a lot of history, that all you know is that one single thing. Are you saying that these people we're looking at, they human beings? In front of our eyes, an 18-year-old white boy went into a market. Think about what it is that I'm talking about. An 18-year-old white boy went into a market and killed a bunch of people and then said, I don't want to be replaced. You're not going to replace me. Nature is replacing you. What you've done in the world is replacing you. You are a terrorist. You are a mass murderer. You are everything you see, you kill. Nature is judging you. We don't have to do anything to you. Nature is doing it. They can overturn Roe v. Wade all they want. Their judgment is here. And it is very important for the FBAs to start thinking about, do you want to hitch your wagon with these people? Because now you're having children, babies. 18-year-old is a child. Do you understand? For 18-year-old that cannot legally drink, that cannot legally go to a nightclub, but have the right, have access to ammunition and kill, and he killed. And then he came out, and the officers, they all the go back and look at that pictures. The officers look as if they're going to cry because they're going to arrest this monster that should never have come out of that place alive. When he come out, black people should have gone ahead and swam and hit him alive right there. He came out. You would have think they want to give him burger right there. What is that? That one, the rotten house, the one that killed 3 people in Wisconsin, or shoot 3 and then paralyze 1 person, kill 2. Look at what the judge did to get this boy free. Black Americans, you have to pick the game. And particularly, you forget about Black Americans. They understand what is going on in the country. This is their country, right? But I'm talking about Africans. Do you know how silly many Africans reporters are, journalists? They will be in Africa quoting American Constitution. America don't have a constitution anymore. It's gone. Why folks will burn this system down before they give Black Americans any more right? The one they've given you, they're trying to take it away. These reprobate, degenerate, wild hyenas are going back to when they used to crawl on falls. And this is your fault, Black man. You civilize these people. After thousands of years of civilizing them, they're trying to go back on all fours, but we're holding on to their life. I mean, we're doing everything to hold on to them. They want to go wild. They want to crawl on all fours. They want to be coming on national TV to cannibalize life. These are people that lynched a human being on top of fruit and vegetables that we eat. All of you remember Billie Holiday, Strange Fruit, right? So Black people have shared the same generic, right? 6 neutrons, 6 protons, 6 electrons. We're talking about people. Now we're talking about Africa don't like to eat fruit. Black Americans don't like to eat fruit. African worldwide don't eat fruit. Why would we eat fruit? When we used to witness these people lynch us on top of fruits, that the fruits, the land is soaked with blood. Only if the trees can talk. That individual that's talking about how this is American, he better be careful. His people don't mind though. It's white fight of the family. They don't mind though. They will put him under the slice of white bread. He's already looking white as it is. He might end up between whites of sliced bread. He better not. They don't mind. I have a question that I want us to take away with. They will bring a Black man out, a Black child out, a Black woman out, a pregnant woman. They will put them on top of a tree, light a fire under their feet. All of them will come together wide and far. They set out invitation to come and watch the death of another human being, right? They will wear their best clothes. Remember what they used to wear? Black and white. Because they're telling you, even in that, they're telling you what the fight is about, black and white. So now they will bring the Black man, Black child, they will lynch them. They watch another human being born to life. And they justify it. Then when they're done, they will be fighting over the Black man's private part. Right? They will go ahead and put it in a mason jar on their windows. They put the picture on a postcard. These are the people that we're fighting to integrate with them. These are the people. This one, all of us from Africa, that we keep preaching. When they're done, many of them will go to church, right? Many of them leave church to come and watch a black man being lynched. These are the people, right? 2022, they're still hanging black people. 2022. You don't have to know a lot of history. The little that you know should propel you forward to say, I'm separating myself from these things right here. Their judgment has come. But you see what they're doing? Even though their judgment is here, they're still attacking you, still blaming you, because you guys will not leave them alone. You holding on to them with their life. And you will destroy yourself, you will destroy other African people that just got here that don't know shit. You will destroy yourself, you will rubbish your own image just so you can get with these people. Imagine black men, particularly, listen to what it is that I'm saying. They cut off. Listen, who are these things? These things. Who are these people that cut off a black man's private part and eat it, put it in their mouth and eat it? Right now in China, there was a video going around where in public, Chinese men are cooking black men's private part and sell it to the public. Listen, we need to get our mind and brain from the gutter and raise it up. Are we not enough as a people? Are we not enough? You're talking about respect. You better come here and forget about respect. You should be able to show up in Africa, anywhere, and then plant your tree and start building your family. They're telling you, black man, that you cannot be with two women or anyone you desire, but it's okay for them to get down with dogs. That's not a problem. The same people that were cutting off your private part, burning up your private part, these are the same people that you have to bow down to get civil rights. You have to bow down to people that right in front of all of us, they are making laws to make violating children legal. Listen to what it is that I'm saying. They are making laws to make the violation of children legal. They are making laws that your child can go ahead and get their private part shop off. Your child. You see, the same way that they were lynching black men, cutting off their private. Now, hey, don't worry. You want to be a girl? No problem. Here is some pills. Start taking it. You don't have to tell your parents. But your parents will pay for the insurance, but you don't have to tell them. Then if you feel like you come and lay down on the table, we'll chop off your private. Black people, what are they doing with all those private parts they are cutting off? You think they're throwing it away or they're eating it? Are we that disgusting? You don't need to know a lot of laws. What is the difference between what they are doing then and what they're doing now? Except now, they have found a way. You see, why people are connected? They are connected because of their degenerative behavior. Because they're so genetically corrupt, they are connected. But we will insult one individual that marry 2-3 women. But the person's not sleeping with dogs, though. They're not violating children. Look at what is happening to us now. Many of their behavior, you're beginning to see some of us getting into it. And the more many of us are getting into it, right? When you see a black man, original man, that take off his pants in the middle of a fucking war, but whether you like it or not, the war is on. That you see a black man wearing skirt, coming on national TV, flipping their hands, bending their... You go to the department store now to go and buy a bra and underwear. I'm going to fight with other men because I don't know what already tried that bra on. Do we all not understand how these people are attacking us? They're attacking your water. They're attacking your children. They are passing so many laws very shortly, in a very short amount of time, the idea of violating children in this country will be permanently legalized. It will no longer be a crime anymore. As it is, they're not punishing them anyway. But it will not, and they can come to your house anywhere and violate your children. You better pick up some games. In fact, that's what I want to say. I mean, I vibration to everyone. This conversation disgusts me. The violation of children, we should start looking for ways to protect your children. And at least for many of you, if you go back to Africa, anywhere in the world you want, you still have right over your child. What right do you have here? Anyway, Brother Amir.
Thank you.
Everybody,
we're gonna
shout.
Thank you, Elder. You are great.
appreciate it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
hey, everyone.
I
Go
wish
ahead.
you were well. I wish you were well.
Okay, thank you. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share,
Wait,
subscribe.
sorry. Before you go, I just wanted to show you a picture. Just one picture. It's only for a couple of seconds. I just wanted to share it with you. Maybe you've seen it. I don't know.
Okay. All right, just let me share it.
Maybe you've all seen it, and it's no big deal. But I just thought, give it a go.
Thank you for your speech. That was very wise. That was very beautiful. We need more
Can you
elders.
see that?
Okay.
I got it. Yeah, it's coming up.
Woo.
Oh God.
Oh, this is the leader. This is the leader.
All right.
That's why I'm going to the continent. I need this bullshit.
That's their king.
Yeah.
That's their Malcolm X.
Yep.
And they can have them. They can have them. Go right ahead.
And that's all I wanted to share before I.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family. Peace.
Peace. Goodbye, everybody.
Peace.